Discovery video 178. Belmont Park once again. Check out what I highlighted here on the conditions. They were off the turf all day long until this race, and they let it stay on the turf. And so it's a turf race, and it's also a maiden claiming race. So that's a 4-star race and a 5-star condition. You can't get any higher than this. This is a 9-star preferred race. Let's take a look at those listings real quick. Homepage, login free area. You know the drill. Discovery video buttons always there at the top right. And here is a page you can click and watch videos. And under my big red arrow is my listing of value odds and overlay preferred races. In these races, my 17 years of research, these races have shown have a much better than average chance on getting my nice odds, value odds, my nice price value odds, or overlay winner. The race is a turf race. That's 4 stars. It's also a maiden claiming race. That's 5 stars. I have the meets rated from 1 to 5 stars, 5 being the strongest, so a 4 and a 5 stars is the highest possible rated race you can get at 9 stars. Okay? Now, so obviously the race is of interest. Go to the value odds horse. Oh, but we have 2. And number 3, Not Today. Funny name. And number 5, Superfleet. Okay? So, what's going to make my decision as far as where am I going to lean in this race? What's the most important thing? The odds near post time. Let's take a look at those. All right, Not Today. 15 to 1 morning line. Our true odds 2.5 to 1, which is the same thing as 5 to 2. So 5 to 2 true odds. And they're letting them go at 15 to 1. The 7 horse was 6 to 1. The other value odds horse, Superfleet, was 11 to 1. And Magic Middleton was 3 to 1. Now, before I tell you, take a look at what you're looking at here. Obviously, the 2 value odds horses stand out. Okay? Now, this is a tricky one. A little bit tricky. You actually do have 2 options here. I'll tell you first what the conservative approach is, and then I'll tell you what I did and what I do. You have your top pick here. Top pick total pace. You know I love that. 15 to 1. But, you know, just 4 points away is the other value odds horse. You know, it's got some things to like, as does the 3. But remember now, at this point, you know, we're just looking at odds right now. Okay. You really got an option here. If you really feel, I mean, me personally, the golden rule is this. You always want the highest horse, highest odds horse, that's the highest rated horse. So in other words, if the highest rated horse is also the highest odds, that's what I stick with. Okay? And obviously the 3 is the top pick in here and is the highest odds. Now, if you are a little bit conservative, you can play this race. You can play both horses in here. I wouldn't fault you for that. I mean, you know, you got decent enough odds, and you know, if you play 2 horses, you know, you'd have to bet them both to win, and then wheel them in the exacta, etc., etc. But for me, you know, even when I looked ahead, when I was plotting the pick 4, and I'll talk about that strategy in a minute. But I looked down here, and I didn't know that the 3 was going to go off at 15 to 1. But I had an idea he was going to be a good price based on morning line. Any horse 15 to 1 or 20 to 1 morning line or higher, the betting public kind of psychologically blocks them out as a non-contender. Okay, so I had a pretty good idea I was going to get a decent price on this horse, especially seeing how it's never raced on turf, which doesn't bother me at all. You know that I love surface changes, track changes, and as a matter of fact, he's got both. So I mean, I was pretty confident that I liked the three here as my key in the pick four. So you know, I love the horse with the best total pace. That's the top pick, and you combine that with pace and turn time rating, best rating there. Okay, so I mean, this was the ultimate key race, and this was the ultimate key horse. But here again in the pick four, you know your key in this race. This is going to be your feature race in the pick four. You could play both. I wouldn't fault you for playing both horses. Okay, but just remember the golden rule: highest odds, highest ranked. And like I said, we didn't know what these odds were going to be as far as betting this race was concerned, but I can tell you that Superfleet at 8-1 morning line had a much better chance on getting bet than the three, not today, at 15-1 morning line. Okay, you follow me so far? All right. Now, okay, so me personally, you know what I do in a situation like this? I'll go ahead and three my I'll three my key. I'll also key my three, but I'll put a saver win bet on the 11-1 horse, just in case. Okay, saver win bet. You know, maybe 50% of what we normally bet on our key horse, just to make sure I break even or make a few bucks. You know, just depending. All right. But if you play both races, if you play both horses, you got to bet them both to win and wheel them both in the exacta, and then that's it. All right, but I'll tell you how I played it. Let's take a look at the horse, and I want to show you what I saw very fast, because you know, when you do this stuff for 15 years, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you can pretty much do it blindfolded. But I see value odds with pace, value odds with par, and value odds with total pace. That's three screaming angles from angle 10 on the 36 proven winning overlay angles, my first book in the free area here. And we're going to scroll down to angle 10, the value odds angle. And let's read what I highlighted. There are 5 certain other icons that when listed on a value odds horse have proven to be very potent. Pace, final time, par, late pace, total pace. Well, our horse has total pace, par, and early mid pace advantage. 3 of the 5 potent angles, as well as the highest turn time rating, and that is what I call a pace trifecta. When a horse has the best turn time, the best total, and either the best late pace or early pace, it's the pace trifecta. Super go home, bet your race, get to the window, cash and go home race. That's your super pace trifecta. Okay. Now, also, FTC, first time in a claiming race. Now, why did the betting public, now here's what I like to ask next, why did the betting public not bet this horse? Easy. Philly Park shipper. Well, they call it Parks now, but it's always going to be Philly Park to me. The New York bettors do not respect horses shipping in from Philadelphia Park. That's situation A. Situation B, the bettors in general don't like horses switching to the turf that have never raced on the turf before. As you can see here, he's had 2 lifetime starts, 2nd in career debut, and 6th in his next start. So they don't like horses switching to the turf for the first time, especially if they don't have a sire screaming turf. Nor do the New York bettors like Philly Park horses. Okay, now I will tell you my take on the whole deal. Not for Love is not what I would call a top-rated turf sire, but He's not a bad turf sire. As a matter of fact, for this racing week, up into this race, he had 4 winners as a sire. His offspring, he had 4 offspring that won a race this week. 2 of them were on turf. Okay, so he's not a great sire on turf, but he definitely gets turf winners. And on the broodmare side, Capote's, a little bit of turf action in there. So it didn't bother me the horse was being switched to the turf. And I like the move that Billy Caesar did in bringing the horse from Philly to New York, specifically the run on the turf. And, this is a maiden 25. Like I said, the New York bettors don't like Philly shippers, but a maiden 25 claimer turf race in New York, I don't know. I think it may be overrated as far as what the people think the quality of the horses are. I mean, yes, this horse has never raced on turf before, but you got a whole field of other horses that have raced on turf before and couldn't win, or haven't won. So, I mean, theoretically, they're all unproven on the turf as far as they have not won on the turf yet. Okay? And so aren't you willing to take a chance on a 15? And, when I say chance, I'm talking about risk, because all gambling is a risk. Whether you bet the 3 to 5 favorite or the 15 to 1 shot, everything's a risk when you're involved in any kind of gambling. But isn't it worth more the risk on a 15 to 1 shot in a race where no horse has proven they can win yet? And as I've mentioned in previous videos, I love horses switching surfaces, and I love horses switching tracks. This horse is doing both. Why? Well, because the horse is going to go one of 2 directions. He's either going to dramatically improve or probably dramatically go in the backwards direction. Okay? Because he's getting a whole new surroundings at Belmont Park, and he's being put on a brand new surface, and this turf is yielding, by the way. Okay? Throw another monkey wrench in there. He's either going to really improve or really run a clunker or do nothing. So, I mean, for me, I will take the 15 to 1 to find out what he's going to do. Okay? And to have my pace trifecta advantage here, it was a no-brainer for me. But then again, I've been doing this so long. Okay? Now, let me explain to you. I'm going to get into the betting strategies. Let's go ahead and make the bet. How I bet it was, I went ahead and took not today $14 to win. For the videos, we do $14 to win. Your bet could be more or less depending on your bankroll. Some people only bet to win, and that's fine. That's a good conservative approach. But we definitely want win money on a 15 to 1 horse. Next bet in line would be the exacta. I always wheel my exacta. That'll be a $2 exacta, a 3 all. I always wheel daily double, so this is the late double. So I'd have to have, coming into this race, I'd have to have an all 3-5 double. Okay, that's how I came into this race. So at this point, if my horse wins, I'm guaranteed the $14 win bet, the exacta, and the double. Okay. Now remember, the golden rule, you want the highest rated horse at the highest odds. So that's why I have moxie when I bet. I don't know if you're familiar with the term moxie, but it's just another way of saying, that I step it up. And if Firefox asks me one more time to upgrade, let me tell you something about Firefox. They ask you to upgrade, and then you upgrade, and all your little special add-ons don't work because the people that make these add-ons for free and they're giving away for free, they have to catch up to the version of Firefox that they're making. So I don't upgrade right away, but they constantly hound me. I mean, I love the Firefox browser and I love the add-ons. Like, this is my favorite one, the wired marker where I can highlight stuff. Okay, But anyway, I don't know how I got off on that. That little window just set me off because it's like 3 times a day I have to refuse the upgrade. Okay, where was I now? This is what happens when you become a 47-year-old grandfather of 4. Somehow your brain gets sucked out of your head. Excuse me. Oh, okay. We did the win bet, the exacta, and the double, and I mentioned the golden rule, highest rated, highest odds. Okay, now, next trifecta strategy as follows. 3 on top, second position, 7, 5, 4, 9, and then third position, all. That's the rest of Group A and the top horse in Group B in the second position, by the way. Key in the 3 on top, and then all for third, 10-cent super all for fourth. Now, this is the last race of the pick 3 and the pick 4. Now, you've heard me say in the past that I usually like to kick off a pick 4 with a high-priced, high-odds horse that I think has a good chance to win. But, you know, first of all, it has to be a preferred race for me to be interested to begin with. Now, the 7th race kicked off the pick 4. Now, it's an optional claimer. It's not on the turf, so it's not even a preferred race at all. So I got to play the Group A horses there. The next race was originally scheduled for the turf, but was taken off the turf, making it a 5-star preferred race, okay, in a conditional claimer. So far, so good. That would be my key race so far. The next race was a Grade 2 race, not on the turf. Here again, not preferred at all. So I got to go with my Group A there. And then the last race on the turf, also a maiden claimer. That's a 9-star preferred race. It trumps the 5-star from 2 races ago. So this race would be the feature race, the focal race of the pick 4. And that's exactly what I did. And you know what I did because I play very simply. In the pick 3 and pick 4, I find my special race. I find my special horse. I single that horse. And in the other races of the pick 3, pick 4, I simply bet the Group A horses. Okay? Should have enough pace to be on or near the lead. Turn time means he will not lose speed around the turn. Total pace means he should have enough energy late. And that's exactly what he did. Yielding or none. Does not matter. Nice ride. Stalk the pace. Here's where your turn time came in. This is where your total pace came in from here to here. Just a shade under 15 to 1. 3180 on the Win Mutual. Where was the post-time favorite? Out of the money, as frequently happens in these preferred races. So we did get a 3180 winner. I got bad news and good news for you again, like I did in Belmont, yeah, the video before. Bad news. We missed the trifecta by 1 horse again, which is going, and it was a big trifecta. It was I think an $8,000 trifecta, and a big super, and we missed by 1 horse on our strategy again. That's 2 days in a row, and I'm going to rethink the trifecta strategy possibly. I had been toying with the idea of that, but nothing's official yet. But anyway, the good news is we did get paid off pretty well on everything else. $14 win bet returned $222.60. 222 is a lucky number for me. Why? Because I'm superstitious. Why? Because I'm a gambler. $2 exacta, not bad, 570 bucks. The double, 133. My strategy on the pick 3 for $1 return $230.25. And the dollar pick 4 made my afternoon at Belmont. Closed it out the nightcap with cash in some green, $872.50 on the dollar pick 4. So we cleaned out $2,028 here and 35 cents. Not bad, not bad, not bad. This video, I'm going to say it once again because you're going to be faced with this, okay? This is what I want to go over one more time with you. Remember, the golden rule is highest odds on highest picked horse. If that horse is the same horse, in other words, if the highest pick is the highest odds, that's where your focus needs to be. Now, yes, there's going to be an occasion where the 11-to-1 horse is going to beat our horse. Yes, it's going to happen. Okay? But in the long run, I have found it to be more profitable to use my strategy of highest pick, highest odds. And like I said, you always have the option, you know, like Tony Soprano said in that one episode about Patsy. We always, or was that Paulie? We always have the option, Paulie said to Tony. We always have the option. And you always have the option of, if you really think you need to either throw a saver or key them both. But you know how I play. Okay? I play because I gamble to win money. I just not in this game for nickels. I've seen it all enough to know that, yeah, I may lose. 11-to-1 horse may beat me, but that doesn't bother me because I know in the long run, and I'm in this for the long haul, okay? I'm in this for long-term profit, long haul. I know in the long run, the way that I do it will pay off, and because I know that, I can have confidence, okay? All right. Well, another good video, and I think hopefully when you're faced with this situation like this, that you will, and recognize that you got a 9-star race. There's nothing higher, okay? So, I mean, there was a lot of things I covered in this video, and as I always say, you definitely want to watch the videos more than once and possibly 3 times, because I say a lot of stuff you can make money with. So you won't retain everything I say watching the video just one time. This is the Horse Racing Digest page, the free area. You have the discovery videos. You have the free book, my first book online here, proven well over a decade of angles at work, and all the other articles to help you understand the reports and how to use the reports. This is your study library. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything but your time. So put a little time in studying and get to know how to use the reports and put your plan to action and keep watching the videos. You will learn how to do exactly what needs to be done to accomplish what? Long-term profit. Thank you. Good luck with all your bets.